Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us is Albers, Global Head of Data at Nasdaq, to talk about the rising interest in biotech indexes and ETF data in conjunction with National Biotech Month, which of course takes place every January. Oliver, it's great to see you again. Welcome back to Trade Talks.
Thank you, Jill. Great to be here. Always great to see you.
All right, you got it. And let's start with you telling us about some trends that you're seeing in biotech right now.
Sure. Well, to start, we've seen a big push in thematic investing around the globe over the past few years. And then obviously with everything pandemic related going on, we see even greater interest in biotech coverage as people become more familiar with the space overall due to news coverage, but also really have a vested interest in it in terms of day-to-day life, especially as it relates to vaccine rollouts. So now, in addition to professionals tracking biotech as part of their portfolio, we see a lot of retail investors also interested in building biotech into their passive investing strategies by using our indexes.
So how does this tie into the data world for you?
Yeah, so both professionals and retail traders are clamoring for index data to track things like components and intraday values across different asset classes. On the ETF side, people want to see the portfolio net asset value in addition to the market price. And for both, there's increased interest in seeing it in real time throughout the day, rather than waiting on delayed data or end of day information. So, as with everything in the world, people want it on demand right now at their fingertips. So we see the same thing in data.
And how do investors get access to this type of data?
So on the Nasdaq side, we offer real-time index values and ETF value information through a product we call the Global Index Data Service, or GIDS, as we like to call it in typical Nasdaq acronyms. People often think about GIDS as a product for our flagship indexes, but then they're pleasantly surprised that they get access to thousands of indexes covering global markets and across multiple growing sectors such as biotech.
And can you give us some examples of biotech theme indexes that are included?
Sure. So on GIDS, we have data coverage for 196 biotech indexes, as well as 3 biotech ETFs. The big one that stands out that's very well known is the Nasdaq Biotech Index, which tracks 373 Nasdaq listed companies that are classified as either biotech or pharmaceuticals, and has ETFs associated with it in 5 different countries. So in terms of the diversity of components and the coverage of that index, it covers a wide variety of focus areas, including very popular things like gene therapy and, of course, oncology, but also infectious disease, which, of course, is growing in interest with the pandemic. So the Nasdaq Biotech Index lets people invest in the next generation of healthcare innovators in typical Nasdaq fashion.
All right, Oliver, appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thanks, Jill. Great seeing you as always.